Sure, you can always shop around for flooring, but in the end, it all leads back to the one place you probably should have started, the experts at Carpet One. Save yourself the time and the hassle and let Carpet One help you find the right product at the right price. Beautifully installed, guaranteed. Come see the One, Carpet One, on the Business Loop in Columbia.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, February the 19th. If you feel like your life is really stressed out, stick around for the next 8 minutes because we've got a lady who has all the answers on how to de-stress ourselves. My friend Vera Massey, good to have you here, Vera.
It's so good to be here, Paul.
Retired from the University Extension.
Yes.
We've had a on-air relationship for 50,000 years now.
A long time.
Yeah.
It's been good.
You know, when you talk to people, one of the first thing that pops out of almost everybody's mouth is, I'm so stressed. I've got so much going on at this time. I just feel like I'm being pulled in one direction or another. That's not good.
Well, one of the downers of that is when you're always stressed, it's hard to kind of live your life.
Right.
I mean, life to its full capacity, because we kind of get stuck, and stress kind of has become the norm, that people just are not maybe enjoying life as it's meant to be enjoyed.
But don't some people kind of like to wear that as a badge of honor? Is that I've got so much going on in my life, I'm so stressed, but I've just got to do this.
It's actually called like a busy syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm busier than you.
Right.
And it is like, and the other thing we like to wear as a badge of honor is how little sleep we can get by on.
Oh, I don't like that.
And so both of those really, being busy all the time and lack of sleep, that creates a lot of stress in your life.
Yes, it does.
And you know, things are going to happen to us. There are situations we all will find ourselves in. And it's how are we going to relate to that? How are we going to respond to it? And that's what determines the stress, because what might be stressful to you would not be to me, or vice versa, because it's how we are choosing to be with whatever has happened. And it's harder to be resilient and bounce back from these bumps in the road.
And the more stress you have, the more apt you are to become physically ill, correct?
Absolutely, physically ill. And you get into these patterns of behavior, these reactions that occur over and over. One of the things that I think, if we could try to start each day at what I call kind of a good place, you know, because how you start the day tends to play out throughout the rest of the day. So if we start the day in a very agitated, disruptive way, that tends to sort of get carried on throughout the day. I learned many years ago that to be bombarded with a lot of negativity, whether it is to maybe listen to some newscasts that are just, all the stories are very negative. I found that just didn't work well for me. I chose to enjoy my coffee watching the sun come up, because I like to get up early. Not everyone does, but that's what fills me up.
And I know what you're talking about, because you turn on the news or you pick up the newspaper. The other day, I was frustrated. I was really frustrated, and I was reading the newspaper, and it was just one negative story after another. And finally said, put it down. Okay. I need to take a break from this right now.
Yes, and so you have to know how that affects you. And for me, there are certain things I know drain me, and there are other things that fill me up.
But what do you do if you have a situation that it really is a part of your life that is stressful? and you can't get out of that.
Can't get away from it?
Yeah, that's where vacation comes in.
Yes, it helps, doesn't it? Well, you know, that can be a challenge. So then it becomes, how are you going to relate to that situation, that person, that event.
Yeah.
And so you better be able to generate some positive emotions in other ways, because if that particular situation or person or condition is so draining to you, it's really going to be critical to identify other things in your life that are going to generate those positive emotions.
I have found that sometimes it's important, just when you really start to feel the pressure coming on, right, just take a little break, go sit down in a quiet spot by yourself and do a little meditating and think of positive, happy things.
That helps a lot of us. You know, I say we all throughout the day need to take a purposeful pause or two. Just to pause, because once you get in that wound up state, it's very difficult to get out of it. And it just kind of follows you in every situation that you find yourself in that day. So to pause, you know, whether it is just to step away for a few moments, for me, just getting a good stretch in. You know, I kind of call stretches little reboots, because you can feel sometimes, I don't know where you carry the stress, but a lot of times mine's in the neck and the shoulders, because we get very tensed up when things aren't going maybe the way that we want them to go.
I like your idea of just a reboot. Take a little bit of time for yourself, breathe deep and stretch and think of positive images.
It sounds sort of corny to say that, but the research shows those very simple things can make such a big difference in our lives. But we are so distracted that we are not even aware of what's happening within us.
Right.
And it becomes, you know, stress has become the norm. That's what we just think we have to live that way.
Yeah, and put down the cell phone sometimes.
Oh boy, yeah, get your face out of the phone sometimes.
Right, and we're all guilty of that.
We all are, and you know, I read just the other day how they described phones, where they would be like a person who's constantly nudging and nagging you. Look at me, you know? And if we had somebody in person doing that, we probably wouldn't like it, because they'd go, leave me alone. But a phone is just always there. It's always pulling us. And sometimes maybe it is important to check the phones, but sometimes maybe it's really good to just disconnect.
Put it down.
You know, we were on vacation and out of the country, and it was really very lovely to see families having meals together without being on their phones.
Without a phone.
And other cultures aren't necessarily using phones.
Yeah. You've got some good advice, Vera, and we're out of time.
Oh my gosh.
We're out of time, but you have to come back and continue our de-stressing.
We want to live more fully.
Okay. Our friend Vera Nichols, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure talking to you. You've got good advice, and I appreciate you taking the time out to share it with us.
Thank you.
All right. Tomorrow, Joan Stack from the State Historical Society. We're going to continue our series on Black History Month. Our program directed by Travis McMillen, Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio, Pat Akers, KBIA. Our floor director, Ariel Sierra. And our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mouse. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.